Good evening, graduating class.
Good evening, sir.
You guys look fantastic this evening.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Please join me in welcoming up LVMPD Honor Guards to present colors.
Detail. Ho. Up. He. Present. Colors.
Please join me in welcoming up Congressional District Candidate CD3, Mr. Drew Johnson, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, John. Graduates, congratulations. Please join me in honoring the greatest country in the world. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, sir.
Please join me in welcoming up Ms. Reagan Capacey to sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets ran glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, mate. Please be seated. I want to welcome you to the March 2024 graduation ceremony for Hope for Prisoners. We are so honored that you have joined us here tonight. I'm John Ponder, founder and CEO of Hope for Prisoners. And again, we're just very grateful that you have joined us here this evening. I want to give a big shout out to all of our friends who are watching this stream live inside Nevada Department of Corrections, inside the Clark County Detention Center, the City of Las Vegas Detention Center, and all our folks that are watching on the Hope for Prisoners Facebook page from around the world. Can we give them a big, gigantic round of applause? Thank you so much for joining us. For all you first-time visitors here to Hope for Prisoners, I'll take a few minutes and tell you who we are, what we do, and talk about some of the things that brought us here to this moment. So our organization provides reentry services to men, women, and young adults that are exiting different arenas of our judicial system. So we work with people that are coming home from state or federal prisons, city, county jails, drug rehabilitation centers, halfway houses, transitional facilities, and the likes. And what we do is to provide the supportive services to help the men and women that are returning back to our community, not only get acclimated back into workplaces, but we make sure there's mechanisms in place through partnerships that we built up with employers. And many of those employers are here in this room. We want to make sure that once they get inside those workplaces, they're going to be afforded every opportunity to thrive and be able to grow, and then afforded every opportunity to succeed. We address the needs for them to get acclimated back into their family, making sure there's a mechanism in place to help with that family reunification component, because everyone in this room can attest to the fact that if the family life is not right, if the home life is not right, then everything else in the world has a tendency to fall apart. And then on the back end of the process, because there's a long-term 18-month journey where we walk with our folks, looking to do everything we possibly can to ensure that we're helping them to be stand-up leaders out in our community with an overall goal of them never, ever, ever reoffending again. So tonight is a commencement ceremony where they're not going to be graduating from a program. They're going to be graduating up into the next level of our commitment to be with them over the next 18 months, not only to help them to walk out all those incredible things that they've learned, but we want to be able to be there with them to help them to navigate the different challenges they're going to be facing during this reintegration process. So thank you guys so very, very much for being here. We are so honored that each and every month we have some of the greatest leaders in our community to come out and address our graduates. Before I invite them up to speak, if you guys would please say hello to our friend from the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, Captain Noel Roberts. Please give him a hand. We're just saying hello right now. We're just saying hello. It's okay. And also from Workforce Connections, the strategic initiative of strategic initiatives, Mr. Cecil Felder. Would you give him a big, gigantic round of applause? And also joining us here tonight is Mr. Graham Miller. He's the chief engineer at Santa Fe Stations with our partners, Station Casinos. Would you give him a big, gigantic round of applause? And also joining us tonight to administer the oath to our graduates to remain productive law-abiding members of our community is the Honorable Susan Johnson. Would you please give her a big, gigantic round of applause? Before we get into, I want to acknowledge some of our folks that we have partnered with in order to help us to be successful. And I'm going to start out with our faith-based partners, Kenneth Copeland Ministries, My Home Church, City Light Church, Liberty Baptist Church, The Crossing Church, Salt Church, Word of Life Christian Center, Central Christian Church, LifeSpring Christian Church, Southwest Prison Ministries, Messages of the Faith Ministries, my fellow chaplains from Chaplain C, Nevada, Southern Hills Baptist Church, and the Church LV. Would you please give them a gigantic round of applause? Hope for Prisoners processes referrals from the following agencies: Nevada Department of Corrections, Nevada Department of Public Safety, Parole and Probation. We work very closely with Highway Patrol, the City of Las Vegas Department of Public Safety, Henderson Police Department, the Clark County District Attorney's Office, both criminal and family court division, and our friends from the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. There we go. They got that down to a Q, don't they? So we want to just really thank you guys for joining us here tonight. We are 3 months into 2024, which we're on pace to graduate our highest number of graduates to date. So we're going to make room for our first speaker this evening. First of all, I want to thank Sheriff Kevin McMahill for opening up his house on this Friday evening for us. Can we give Sheriff McMahill a big, gigantic round of applause? And our first speaker of this evening is Captain Noel Roberts. Please give him a hand, please.
Hello, everybody. All of our guests here, welcome. To all of the graduates, welcome. As you can see, I don't have a speech written, right? I figured I was just going to talk from the heart. I want to first welcome you to Las Vegas Metro. And this day really is about all of you. It's about you right here, right? And the commitment you all have made on a journey of change, right? And to dedicate yourselves to change and to doing things differently, right? And it's not easy, right? You're going to go through a lot, but the fact that you've already dedicated yourself says a lot about each and every one of you. I wasn't supposed to be here today. So there's always a captain who speaks at the graduation, but I'm filling in for another captain because he was going to be out of town. So he asked me a couple months ago if, hey, can you fill in for me in March? And I said, yeah, absolutely, not a problem. But I believe God had a plan, right, on why. I just returned back. I've been gone for the last 2.5 weeks in California because my father passed away. So I just got back a couple days ago, right? And the reason why I think God had a plan, and I'm going to talk about my dad, is because he was once in your shoes. Literally was once in your shoes. I spent my childhood watching him and the life that he had chosen. And then when I graduated from high school, he was convicted and went away for a couple years. And I remember when I would come home from college, I'd go pick up my grandmother, who's still alive at 94 years old. Yeah. So I'd go pick her up and we drive down to visit him, right? And then after a little bit of time, he was put into a lower security place where you could actually go visit on the weekend face-to-face and things like that. And when he got out, I was probably about 22, 23 years old. He made a commitment to never go back. I watched him change his life. Sorry, guys. So when I say to all of you that it can be done, it can be done, right? I watched him not apologize for his past, because let me tell you, his past is kind of what got him through the next 30 years, right? There was something about that. He never forgot it. He never forgot where he came from. He just made that commitment that he wanted to change, right? He wanted to build a relationship with his 3 boys that he didn't have, right? And then he became an incredible grandfather, right? That was the sign, seal, and delivered, right? He became this incredible grandfather. And little by little, as much as I might have had, I'll be honest with you, I had some resentment for a long time. It took me a long time to get over some things, and shame on me for that, right? Because he didn't owe me an apology. What he did was show over the next 30 years, 28, 30 years of what change looks like, where someone could come from, where they're at, and where they could go, right? And he had to humble himself, right? The money, the nice cars, and all that were gone. He had to go get a normal job, and he did all that, but he loved it. He did. And I sit up here telling you that I admire all of you. I really, truly do. There wasn't a program for him back then, but he did it, right? He dedicated his life to his family, to changing some things, and making himself a better person. And some of you may be in the same boat. You may have loved ones that you may have certain relationships with, right? The way I had it with my dad. But let me tell you, they'll see it. They do see it. I saw it. I saw the change, and I respect the hell out of him for what he did. And I'm going to end by telling you guys a little story. When I became a brand new sergeant back in 2016, I was up in the Northwest Area Command, and I kind of got the short end of the stick because there was a squad that I worked with 3 days a week that was a very senior squad, extremely senior. I was a 16-year veteran at that time, but these were all cops that were 20 years plus. And their sergeant was going to be gone for 6 weeks. So I was pretty much the one that was going to be overseeing them. And like your typical old school cops, they kind of went out to work every day and kind of did not a lot. And the lieutenant came to me and she said, hey, Noel, I need you to handle that. I need you to talk with them. I need you to, and I was like, not me. Like, that ain't my problem. It's not my squad. She goes, well, no, you're with them 3 days a week for the next 6 weeks. It is your problem, and you need to talk with them. So I called a couple of them in, and I said to them, hey, look, I get it. You've been around a long time. I'm not expecting you to go chase people, do this. All I'm asking for you to do is give an honest day of work, right? And so them being the salty dogs they are said, okay, Sergeant, what would you like us to do? How many tickets do you want us to write? And I said, well, I'm not going to tell you what to do. Just go out there and give me an honest day work, whatever that looks like. And they said, well, what would you like us to do? You want us to give the Summerlin soccer moms tickets? And I said, I kid you not, they honestly said that. And I said, maybe the Summerlin soccer mom needs that ticket to change her driving habits. And maybe you pull over that person that spent a lot of time in prison that just got out. And you can look at and you see it on their record. And they didn't stop at that stop sign fully because they're on their way to work, that they wanted to make a change in their life and they're rushing to work to be there on time. And maybe they're the one that needs that break. Maybe they're the ones that you give the pass to that day who's actually making the change in their life and trying to do good. Maybe it'll be the first time an officer has ever given them a break. And maybe you'll change a mindset and they'll see us in a different way. And I truly, truly believe that. I truly do believe that. I never told them why I believed it. I just told all of you, and very few people knew about my father and his past, but I figured with his passing and here, I wanted to talk about it and commend you all, right? And I hope, now don't go tell the sheriff that I say you can run through stoplights and stop signs. That's not what I mean, okay? But I hope, right, the next time you encounter someone in the TANs, a police officer, right, that you get that pass, right? That they see the change that you all are making and that they look at you about what you're doing now and what your future holds. Yes. So again, congratulations everyone, to the families. This is also a day for all of you to enjoy, right? Because like all of us, you also gone through a lot too, and you're seeing the change. So I congratulate all of you on this special day. So thank you for the opportunity to speak, and God bless all of you.
Can we give Captain Roberts a gigantic round of applause? Man, oh man. And Captain, I'm going to take this opportunity to ask you to, if you please stand up. And I'm going to ask your officers in the back of the room, if you guys would please stand up. Right. First of all, Captain, I want to thank you for your transparency and wearing your heart on your sleeve. I think that you sharing your story about your dad has impacted everybody in this room, whether you were locked up or not. Just wanted to take a minute to the officers of the room to thank you for the role that you guys play within our community, right? We want to thank you for getting up every single day and putting your life on the line and getting out in our community to protect and to serve. So please know, as a community, I really do believe that we do have the greatest police department literally in our country, right? And please know that there's a community of people that are going to be out here continuing to pray for you, that you guys are safe and you guys are able to execute your job. Please give them another big, gigantic round of applause. Thank you. Okay, so we have this session of our training, and it's called what we call the Vivid Vision. And inside this Vivid Vision, we challenge our graduates to take a look at their life 1 year from graduation day. And we ask them to put that down on a piece of paper, right? In other words, it's March 22nd, 2025. We ask them to wake up in the morning and walk us through a day in your life. And then when they get to the end of that, we make a copy of it. We give them a copy of it. And then the other copy goes to their team of case managers and mentors and people on the Hope for Prisons staff. And then what our job is at that point is to do everything we can to help them to live out their dreams. Because Hope for Prisons is bigger than just getting a job. It's about building up a brand new life. We had the privilege of having an individual stand in this room and read his vivid vision. It was a person who had overcome tremendous adversities. And we love to bring people back every month so they'll be able to tell their story. I am so glad there's a representative, Ms. Nell Christensen from Steve Wolfson's office here to hear what he's about to say. If you guys would please put your hands together for Hope for Prisons alumni, Mr. Eric Johnson.
Hello. Hello, everyone. My name is Eric Johnson. I'm here today to share with you my journey as a Hope graduate. I'm so grateful to be standing before you today, having the opportunity to tell a little bit of my story, what led me to Hope for Prisoners, and what I was able to accomplish with the help and support of the people involved in this program. As I reflect, I realize I shouldn't be here today. By all rights, I should be sitting in prison on a habitual criminal sentence, passing my days playing cards and watching my daughter grow up through the glass. As you can see, I am not. Through hard work, persistence, and dedication, I was granted a second, fourth chance at life. I come from a good family. I had a hardworking father and a loving mother who stood by my side through all the good and bad, even at times that they shouldn't have. I spent my early years just trying to be the center of attention. I loved it. I wanted to be everyone's friend. But all that changed at the age of 17 when I began using drugs. I wasn't interested at first, but the girl I was dating was using, and to keep up with people pleasing, I agreed. The road that followed was rough, to say the least. I joined the military at 18 to try to get away from it, but the minute I was back in town, I found my way back to using. My military career was cut short. I was incapable of stopping on my own. The only time I would be sober was when I was in jail for brief periods, and I would get right back to it once released. With that came the escalation of crimes. Simple petty thefts turned into burglaries and car thefts, leading me to prison multiple times. At the age of 24, after being in prison for 2 years, I was indicted and given a habitual criminal and sentenced to 5 to 15 years. I vowed that I would change my life and stay sober during my entire incarceration. 3 months before my release, my father passed with a battle with cancer, leaving my mother to deal with my brothers and I alone. I realized I had to be there for her. My dad would expect that of me as a man. And I was. I was not committing crimes. I got married, had a beautiful daughter, and a wonderful job, but without the tools to succeed through the struggle, I was ultimately setting myself up for the biggest failure to date. I felt that I could drink, and during COVID, when I lost my career driving limos, the alcohol turned into recreational drug use, which turned into heavy drug use, extreme crime, and incarceration again. I sat in that cell and I begged God for another chance, like I had so many times before. I didn't know if I was being truthful at the time. I just knew I needed that chance. God's plan was much different than I had expected when answering my prayers, but I wouldn't change a thing. While incarcerated at CCDC, facing a minimum of 8 to 20 years, once they took life off the table, I began taking classes. That short stint in the military provided me the chance to enter the 2J unit with other veterans and Hope for Prisoners hopefuls. I took every class, even ones that I wasn't supposed to be in. I wanted the tools to change. I didn't know what they were, but from the stories I've heard and seen through Hope for Prisoners, I wanted what they had. MRT was introduced as a class for veterans a few months into my stay awaiting trial, and I jumped on it quickly. Working hard, I completed it with another inmate, William. His stay far exceeded mine, but our goals were similar, and we graduated. Graduation was well attended. Many staff and higher-ups within CCDC were in attendance, Fox and NBC News, as well as John Ponder and Cynthia from Hope. I didn't know John then, but I admired him. In his speech, he said how impressed he was with our dedication to change and that he would bring it up with his friend Steve Wolfson. This isn't something he normally does, but he took a chance on us. Through that talk, I met with Steve, the DA in my case, and my attorney. Based on my record, he was resistant to giving me anything that would set me free anytime soon. But his friendship and belief in John in this program, he took a chance on me. I signed the deal immediately. I had so many restrictions and a suspended sentence, but here I stand. I immediately went to Hope upon release and got through the workshop, taking all the information I could. Within weeks, I was employed as a training HVAC tech and now a fully certified lead at my company. I have my own. I have my own company, Hammered Home Repair, on the side that I am building. I have rekindled relationships and have split custody of my daughter. Recognizing that addiction is where my problems lie, and using the tools I've gained from hope and my consistent devotion to AA and God, I am living a life I never dreamed of, and it continues to get better. I didn't feel I deserved this life I have, but today I stand before you saying I do, and I earned it, with the help of Hope for Prisoners and John Ponder. I'd like to thank Cynthia, Phoenix, Officers Iverson, Laird, and Henry, and thank you, John Ponder and Mr. Wolfson, for giving me this opportunity. I wanted it bad enough, and with your help, I got it. My advice to you graduates is focus on the journey and know that you have all the support you need here. Thank you.
Can we give Eric another round of applause? And I'm gonna call out Nell Christensen. Now, when you see Steve and the other prosecutors, he would have otherwise been in the custody of Nevada Department of Corrections doing an 8 to whatever it is, but because our district attorney thought outside the box, working with your office, he is a productive member in the community, fathering his son. So, Steve Wolfson, I salute you. That is just so awesome. And that's what that Vivid Vision is all about, right? The thing that I really, really like about the Vivid Visions, right? Because it gives people an opportunity to take a look down in the future, right? And if we've ever seen anyone who is just completely hopeless, right? We see people like that all the time in the community, just completely hopeless. And the reason why they're hopeless is because they cannot see their future. But when you can get individuals to rise up out of that state of hopelessness and see a future and have faith in a process that right there is obtainable, that's when they find hope in the moment. So we're going to have an opportunity to hear some of those vivid visions, and our job is to see what we can do to help those vivid visions come true. If you guys would please put your hands together for Hope for Prisoners graduate. See, they don't know who I'm going to call. So they're all shaking in the boots right now, but we stay ready because we never got to get ready. Please join me in welcoming up Mr. Philip Hernandez. All right, so.
Hello, everybody. My name is Philip Hernandez, and today is March 22nd, 2025, and this is my vivid vision. I woke up today with my beautiful wife by my side and to our 3-year-old son jumping all over us. I couldn't help but laugh as I grabbed my little man and tickled him. I am truly blessed. I got out of bed and got down on my knees and thanked the Lord for another day. As I go about my day, making my bed, I walk into my bathroom, brush my teeth, and smile at the man in the mirror. I am blessed and extremely grateful for the man that I have become. Every day I look myself in the mirror and say, you the man. Today and every day for the rest of my life, you will be the best. It will be the best day of my life. I'm anticipating my one-on-one meeting over lunch today with my mentor and best friend, John Ponder, to talk about business. Man, who would have thought that I would be sitting face to face with the founder and CEO of the #1 reentry program in the country? Man, God is good. Thank you. Ever since that first day at orientation for Hope for Prisoners, I knew from that day forward that my life would change forever. I would like to thank my Hope for Prisoners family for believing in me. Thank you for the love, support, and motivation I needed to push me to succeed. I couldn't have made it this far without you all. Life has been great to me lately, and I am thankful to have been given the opportunity to become one of the lead slot technicians for the company I now work for at Station Casinos. Fast forward to the end of a successful day, laying in bed with a big smile on my face in a place that I now call my home. Let's just say that today was a good day. My name is Philip Hernandez, and today is March 22nd, 2024, and this is my vivid vision. See you next year.
That is so good. Oh my goodness. And as fate would have it, Philip, I'm gonna ask you to come back up here, man. Come here. Just come over here. Sure, as the fate would have it. Many years ago when I had come home from prison, I shared my vision with somebody, right? And this guy walked me into the office of someone who blew wind underneath my wings, and it wouldn't be what it is today had not this person made this connection, right? You know, it's not so much what you know, but sometimes in life it's who you know. Can you take a walk with me? Because just so happens today, where do you say you want to work at?
Station Casinos.
And listen, I couldn't make this up. You know that the entire senior HR staff, directors, and managers are sitting in this room right now? Come on over, let me introduce you. Can I have the HR team please stand up? So, Larice, I'm going to let you do the honors to make the introduction. Here, grab the mic.
Okay. All right. Well, congratulations to you. This is DeJuan Taylor. Okay, I'm Larice Turner. Can't believe he just did this. This is no, I'm not, but now I am. This is Andrea, Heather, Marcia, and Jennifer. So we all work for the Station Casinos corporate HR office. We are the senior vice president. This is Chris, our senior vice president of human resources, and we have vice president and all directors here. So I will definitely give you my business card, okay? And congratulations to you.
You see, sometimes, man, it's not what you know, but it's who you know. Connected the dots. Yes, sir. There's your seat right there. Oh my goodness, that was so good. Did that get you guys just as misty as I did? Connecting the dots. Connecting the dots. I want to thank our elected officials who provided certificates this evening. But I want to make sure that I recognize Liz Payomo from the office of Governor Joe Lombardo. Would you say hello to everyone? And also from the office of Councilwoman Victoria Seaman, Christina Tahahi. Is that how you say it? Man, that sounds like some kind of drink you're supposed to put black pepper in or something like that. Yeah. So as we make way for our next speaker, I don't have to read his bio or anything like that. And maybe I'll tell a little bit of his story. But I remember once upon a time, he sat down with one of our case managers or our career coaches, and didn't really have, that much work experience or whatever the case may be, but he listened to what it was that his case manager suggested him to do. And today he stands before us as a speaker out in front. If you guys please put your hands together for the chief engineer of Santa Fe Station, Hope for Prisons alumni, Mr. Graham Miller.
Hello, everyone. Well, just a little bit about me. Make the best of that introduction. Right? I was put in that same position. And so I started at Station Casinos as a dishwasher back in 2019, right? Prior to that, I did about 15 years in prison, right? May 17th of 2019, I sat right where you were. And it was interesting. I didn't know what I wanted. I thought I had a clue. And I seen somebody I know sign up for the program, and I said, you know what? Let me give it a run. If he can do it, I can do it. And he was a good friend of mine, right? That people didn't believe in or have hope in, he'll never get right. And so for me, I was able to transition after that 15-year term to Casa Grande facility, seen Hope for Prisoners, signed up, sat down with a case manager, went through the graduation, and Carolyn Willis, if she's here, best case manager on the planet, right? She laid out a plan for me. And in the process of laying out that plan, she wanted me to go back to school. She wanted me to do all these things that I did not want to do. I wanted a job right now. That's it. I want to work. I'm in Casa Grande. I want to make money. That's what's important, And she didn't let up. She would not let up. And so ultimately I caved, right? They say never fold, right? And for some reason, for Carolyn, I folded. And so she laid the plan out. She said, go back to school. We're going to get you enrolled in CSN. We're going to do all these things you want to do. What do you want to do? I said, I want to fix ACs. right? I want to work in the casino. And at my graduation, I met a gentleman named Bill Munsey, no longer with the company, great guy, right? He worked for Stations. And he heard me say I want a job at Stations. And there was something about me. He said, you know what? I'll tell you what. This is what you need to do if you want to work for Stations. And I stuck to the script. I did everything Carolyn asked me to do. I went back to school. I took my first test just so they can gauge where I was at. I bombed it. Felt like a complete idiot, right? Didn't want to go back to school. Hadn't been to school in 27 years. It was discouraging. And I'm being open with you guys. And Carolyn said, listen, they just need to know where you're at so we can move forward and get you your degree and get you all your certifications. And you know, you have to go through this part of it, right? Don't give up. So I said, okay, Carolyn, all right, we'll try it your way, right? But in my head, you know, I really wasn't all in at that time. So I did what she asked. And keep in mind, everybody, all those years that I disappointed, upset, I wanted to come home, work a job, get custody of my kids, and I wanted to do it my way. But Carolyn had this plan. And everybody was 100% sure I was going back to prison. They said, nah, he's not going to make it, right? One person, I believe, had faith in me, and that was my mom. That's it. Nobody else did. My brothers, you know, other relatives, and ultimately, by sticking to the plan that Carolyn laid out and listening to the things that John used to say, your associations will determine your destination. Every other time I got out of prison, I went back and called the same people I was running around with. That put me where I was at. John says, show me your net worth. No, show me your network and I'll show you your net worth. Believe it. All those things that Greg Ketter says, he's sharp on all four corners. Miss Barbara Lupe, everybody who was in that workshop dropping jewels and dimes for all those years, you know, I would hear them, but I didn't listen. So when I started to listen to everyone now and stick to the script and go back to school, despite the ups and downs and the everyday challenges, catching the bus to Red Rock. Actually, let me back up. They gave me an opportunity to wash dishes at Red Rock while I was incarcerated at Casa Grande. I would get $1,000 check and I wouldn't see none of it. Room and board restitution, victims of crime. Who goes to work for 40 hours every day and doesn't get a paycheck? Who does that? Somebody who wants to stay free.
That's right.
Right? And I'll tell you, making those small, subtle changes in routine, the people, places, and things that you associate with, you hang out with, you have to change all that in order to get a different result. And I did a lot of things in Vegas with a lot of people that I'm not proud of. But ultimately, guess what? I had to cut those people off. I still see them every day. Vegas is small. But I had a plan. Carolyn had a plan. And through her plan, I started washing dishes, got my certifications at CSN. My boss at Red Rock put in a good word for me when a position opened as a junior engineer. And he said, hey, I'll call over there. You're my hardest worker. I don't want to lose you. But you know what? I'll help you move up because Stations promotes from within. They encourage that. So to keep it short and sweet, I went from a dishwasher to a junior engineer in a matter of 6 months. The day I got released, I went right into the engineering department, and a gentleman named John Cannon gave me an opportunity. And he asked me what I was going to do with it. And I said, I'm going to work my way through every position until I become a director. Right? He seen something in me that I didn't see in myself. I knew what I wanted, and he helped me get it. But by way of the things that Hope for Prisoners teaches you, trust the process. Because from a dishwasher to a junior engineer for 18 months to a general engineer for 6 months before I became a supervisor. And this is all at Red Rock. I was a supervisor for 2.5 years, and I just got the opportunity, and I was promoted to chief engineer to where I run the operations of the engineering department at Santa Fe. I say that to say this: don't let your felony convictions and your record determine who you are. Put that behind you. Don't let that hold you back, because the only thing that's holding you back is yourself. You know, trust the process, and it can be done. I'm living proof. You know, I'm living proof. You know what you want. If you don't know what you want, they'll help you. That's why you got John and these case managers. Just stick to the script. They're here for you. Your mentor's there for you. Take advantage of all the opportunities they have, and I'll tell you, you will go far in life. There is people out there willing to give you a second chance.
Yes.
Mr. Graham Miller, please give him a round of applause. So very, very proud of you. I'd like to take a moment to recognize a representative from U.S. Senator Catherine Cortez Masto's office, Mr. Lawrence Rutherford. I apologize, sir, I didn't see you. Would you please stand up and say hello to everyone? Thank you so much for coming out. I have my assistant kick me underneath the table. As we make way for our next speaker, and again, we just pride ourselves in having some of the greatest leaders in our community to come out and be able to support and speak into the lives of our graduates. And when we have people from like the police department, or parole and probation, and the district attorney's office, it's like you have the most unlikeliest people welcoming you home. If you guys please put your hands together for the Chief Deputy District Attorney for the Clark County District Attorney's Office, my dear friend, Miss Madeline Cole. Oh, you're so welcome. Yes, absolutely.
So it is such an honor to be here at this graduation and getting an opportunity to address you. This is my 4th Hope for Prisoners graduation that I've attended. And every time I come to one of these, I leave feeling so uplifted and ultimately like, what else can I do for my community? I leave wanting to be a better person. I love hearing stories like Mr. Miller shared. It's truly inspiring to see people make that comeback. And who doesn't love a comeback story? It's truly quite impressive. But my first interaction with Hope for Prisoners, when I actually met Mr. Ponder working in the district attorney's office, we were kind of introduced to him and this program to become aware about what he was doing in the community, about potential programs that we needed to be familiar with when potentially negotiating cases, or kind of what happens after someone is released from prison and kind of that reentry back into society. And it dawned on me that at least from what I was familiar with in Clark County, nothing like this had existed at the time. And to see in just such a short amount of years how Hope for Prisoners has just succeeded in their recidivism rates, in the community partnerships, is truly incredible. And I'm proud to call Mr. Ponder a friend. I think what he has done in this community, and for people that are similarly situated to you, is quite extraordinary. So I think Mr. Ponder, let's just give it up for him. I don't think he gets enough credit, but you know, sometimes I know when I text him and it goes green, he's up at the prison, because there's literally a vocational training facility being built right there. I don't think anybody could have foreseen something like that a couple of years ago, but truly what he's been able to accomplish is amazing. I just have a couple points that I'd like to share with you graduates. Obviously, this is a very exciting time and you should be very, very proud of yourself. A couple of things that I think are important to mention is, obviously this has been touched upon, but you know, as Mr. Miller stated, his mom was the only person that believed him. That really resonated to me, because I think of, I think of in my own life, challenges, things that I faced, of difficult things that I didn't necessarily think I was capable of. Who have been those cheerleaders? And I always think back to my mom, my siblings, and obviously some of those relationships could be strained. So I encourage you to take the time and reunify with those family members, make those relationships right. Because when your family is good and those relationships are good, everything else will follow. And that foundation to be successful and do what you need to comes with your family members first. So I can't emphasize that enough. I would not be where I am today without my mom, without my siblings, without the support of those family members. Secondly, my husband, who played in the major leagues, he was a 29th round draft pick, spent a lot of years in the minor leagues. And one of his favorite sayings, and I love sports sayings because I think sports parallel life a lot. And still to this day, he always says, control the controllables. And I love that because it's so simple, but yet so powerful. And what control the controllables means to me is we can't change our past. We can't necessarily change what people think about us, people that might underestimate us. But what we can always control is how hard we work, our attitude, how we respond to people. And I think in any aspect of life that is so important to remember. When people may want to judge you by your past or underestimate or don't think you have the certain capabilities to do something, you're not going to be able to control how people view you, but you can control how you respond and how you react from that. And in my husband's situation, he was often motivated by people that underestimated him and used that as power to get to where he ended up being. And I always think that is such a good way to use that instead of getting upset or discouraged, that to use that as actual force to do good and force to overcome. When one door opens, when one door closes, another door opens. And so that's something that even today I think of, control the controllables in every aspect of my life. I can only control what I do, how I respond, how I react to certain things. So again, it's an honor and a privilege to be here speaking before you. What you've accomplished is great. You should feel very proud of yourselves. I wish you all the best of luck in your future endeavors. Stay close to Mr. Ponder and your case managers. And I guarantee you, you will have the successful futures that you were hoping to have. So thank you for having me today. Thank you so much.
Of course. Madeline Cole, please give her another round of applause, please. My friend Madeline Cole. I think we have time for a vivid vision. If you guys would please keep it going. You can look at me if you want. Please join me in welcoming up Mr. James Trapidi.
How y'all doing? I knew he was gonna do this. Okay, so my vivid vision is a little bit changed from what I wrote. So I'm just gonna wing it at the trade end of it. My vivid vision. My name is James Trapidi. Today is March 22nd, 2025. And this is my vivid vision. I wake up this morning with excitement. I couldn't wait to start my day. As my feet hit the floor, I planned my day in my head. Once formed in my mind, I set my day in motion. I stood up, went to the other side of my bed, and gave my wife, Kristen, a good morning kiss, and I told her how much I love her and appreciate her. I then proceed to get dressed for my day. At work, and this is where it changes, at work in the plumbers union, where I get to use some of the highest pressure systems known to man, it never feels like work. I feel like I could conquer the world. My life is so much richer now. It was not 1 year ago. I now have all the love and trust, not only from my wife, mother, father, and brother, but my extended family as well. Now they know that if I say I'll do something, that it will get done. I am trusted again today. I can afford to pay all my bills and still have plenty of money to take my beautiful wife, Kristen, out for a nice dinner. After I get off work, as I drive home, I reflect back on my work day and what it took to make it to this point. All the lonely nights in the cell with a person I didn't know or particularly like. Dealing with all the violence associated with where I had to spend a good part of my time. God truly blessed me with the resolve to get through a lot of temptations and conflict. As I pulled into my garage and I got out of my car and walked into my home, I was greeted by my dog Zoom. He's such a handful. I greet my wife with a kiss and I tell her how blessed I am to still have her in my life. My wife and I get showered and changed and I take her to her favorite restaurant. I drive home once again, and once again, my wife and I get greeted by our dog Zoom. We then take him for a walk and finish our discussion from dinner. After returning home, my wife and I get ready for bed. Lying down, I think how lucky I am and thank God that I was given the chance to change the trajectory of my life. I thank God for John Ponder and Hope for Prisoners program because without it, this would not be possible. My name is James Rapidi. Today is March 22nd, 2024, and this is my vivid vision. See you next year.
Can we give him another round of applause? If I was him, I would have said my dream job is Station Casinos, right? You missed the cue. You missed the cue. But speaking of employers, I do want to recognize some of the other employers that we have here. Employers like Transdev, Binions for Queens. We have Ahern Extreme, and then also some of the vocational trainers are in the back of the room. We have the Culinary Institute. They're in the back of the room. We have Ahern CDL School. We have NTI, National Training Institute, and then Mike Simmons from Las Vegas Welding Institute. Can we give them a hand? We want to make sure that our graduates are able to get plugged in with some vocational training so that we can get them plugged in with employment where they're going to be earning a sustainable wage and taking care of themselves and be able to take care of their family. And Mr. Fielder, I'm going to have you up next, but I want you to tell Mr. Cruz, thank you. And these are the workforce dollars hard at work, right? Can we give Workforce Connections a big, gigantic round of applause? And then I also want to recognize, we love when our elected officials come out and support the work that we are doing. We have State Assemblywoman Claire Thomas. Would you please stand up? Where you at? Where are you at? Stand up and wave. Stand up and wave. I can't see if you're on this side of the pole. Going once, going twice. Hi, I'm John Ponder. I'm running for State Assembly. I am just kidding. I've completely made it up. So as we make way for our final speaker of the evening, is someone who is not unfamiliar with Hope for Prisoners. And again, one of the greatest leaders in our valley, if not in the state of Nevada. If you guys would please put your hands together for Mr. Cecil Fielder of Workforce Connections.
If I had to give a subject title for today, it would be From Rosewood to Rose Ridge. I didn't want to give this message today. Matter of fact, I wrestled with him last night. I said, I don't want to tell the story. He said, go get a rose. I said, I don't want to go get a rose. And as I pulled into the parking lot, I Googled flower shop near me, and it put me to a location a half a mile from here on Charleston. And so I walked in and I asked the young lady, I need one single long stem red rose. She says, only have one. I said, I'll take it. I won't be with you long. 8 minutes, 2-minute exercise, and I'm out. 20 years ago, you would have caught me on the corner of Central and Rosecrans at the local Tams getting a number 5 with chili peppers. I lived in a community called Rosewood. I'm a Compton baby. 139th and Parmalee, 20 years ago. If I had to give a subtitle, it would be From Tragedy to Triumph. And if I had to underscore both of those titles, it would say Flickering Light. Because he'll only give you a micro glimpse of your future. He won't give you full clarity because you're not ready sometimes for what he has for you. So I'm gonna be quick. But I'm gonna back up from that 20 years ago. 2001, February 2001, 9 p.m., I was on an assignment. I was living on 36th Place in Gramercy. I was out of bounds. That is not my neighborhood. For those of you that are familiar, that is Rolling 30s. That is not my neighborhood. One of the OGs pulled up on me one day and said, "We know who you are. We know where you're from, but you keep the traffic down and you're a single father. You on a pass." 2001, my phone rings, 9 p.m. Female caller on the other end of the phone. And she says, "What are you doing?" I said, "I just fed, bathed, and put Kendall down to sleep, and I'm pleating her skirt for private school." I lived about a mile from where they filmed Friday. And you can't send your baby girl to public school. So I was driving her to Inglewood, California, to St. Eugene's Catholic school. And I was pleating her skirt. Female caller says, "I've been meaning to talk to you." I said, "Okay." She says, "I've been watching you. You become complacent." I said, "I'm 25 years old. I just told you I just fed, bathed, and put my baby girl down to sleep. I'm pleating her skirt. I'm making $50,000 and my Cadillac is paid for, and I'm complacent." She said, "See, that's your problem. $46,000 ain't no money. There's money out here for you to make. You don't get an award for taking care of your responsibility. You had her, you take care of her." She said, "And that Cadillac needs a tune-up." I wouldn't dare say it was an argument, but it was a very contentious conversation. You see, the female caller was all of 6 feet, drop dead gorgeous, could throw a spiral football 40 yards. I remember the caller playing quarterback when I was playing street football with my boys, and she played quarterback both sides of the football. And when she punched, you can feel it in your soul. So I didn't want no smoke with the caller. Conversation went on. It was contentious. About 5 hours later, my little brother calls. 1:30 in the morning, wakes me up. He said, "Cecil, wake up. Mom's been shot." My mother was shot and killed that night, coming out of La Louisiana on Slauson and Overhill, about 2 miles from where Nipsey Hussle got killed. You want your last call to be thank you. And matter of fact, let me ask this question, graduates. Those of you that have a mother in the audience, please stand. Mothers, if you are here and your baby is standing, please stand. All my mothers. All my mothers. Hold this. This rose is for you. My mother had a saying. She would say, "Baby, give me my flowers while I'm still here." And I remember them carrying that casket. And I can hear her voice say, "Give me my flowers while I'm still here." You want your last call to be thank you so much. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for never giving up on me. Real quick, I want you to go give that to your mother. Hug your mom real quick from me and let her know that you love her. Real quick. Please, if your mom is here. Thank you so much. For those of you that stood, thank you so much. I'm closing. I'm gonna close. Yeah, that's so important because I didn't get to tell my mom that. And so by you giving that rose to your mother, it's like laying flowers at my mother's feet. You have to take your trauma, your tragedy, and you have to turn it into triumph. You have to use it as fuel. I was a mess because 6 months in an unrelated crime, 6 months prior to that tragic night, my father committed a similar crime and shot both of his neighbors and was sentenced to 50 years in prison. As I close, I found myself inside San Quentin State Prison, oldest prison in California, 100 years active prison, 2018. I'm inside the wall. It sits right on the island of San Rafael. The salt water has begun to corrode the interior of the building. I get inside, the guard racks the gate behind me, and an inmate, all of 6'2", all of 315 pounds, walks right up to my face. He said, 20 years ago, we all thought it would be you in here. And here you are visiting your pops. And as the tears trickled down his face, he said, I'm so proud of you. I had to take those traumas and those tragedies, turn them into triumph. Yes. It's possible. Yes. It's no way for me to unpack almost 50 years of my life in 10 minutes. But I'm living proof that it can be done. Each one of you, I'm gonna work with John Ponder, each one of you will receive the Fielder Enterprises workbook. It is a interactive workbook that will help you set goals, check your surroundings. I believe that association brings about assimilation. You are the company that you keep. And it'll help you put one foot in front of the other. Each one of you will receive a complimentary copy. My name is Cecil Fielder, and I'm Monique's baby boy.
Woo, my goodness. Great job, Mr. Fielder. Hey, as we get ready to administer the oath by the Honorable Susan Johnson, I'm going to ask the graduates if you guys would please stand up. Yes, you guys would please stand up. And what I'm going to ask you guys to do is this. What I want you to do is I want you to take your hands and extend them out in front of you. All the way out in front of you. Take your hands and extend them out in front of you. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to fix your eyes in the palms of your hands. Eyes down in the palms of your hands. And what I want you to do is imagine, if you will, that each one of the lines in your hands represents something in your past that you're not proud of. Look at it. Each one of the lines in the palms of your hands. They may represent a time that you were in the Clark County Detention Center. It may represent a time that you woke up in the dope house. It may represent a time that you've done some things that you're not proud of. The lines in the palms of your hands. It may represent that getting those chains. You don't have that drag the chains in CCDC, and you're about to get on that train back up to High Desert for the third or fourth time. Look at it. They may represent a time of something that you're embarrassed in your life. The palms, the lines in the palms of your hands. Look at them. Now what I want you to do is I want you to take your hands and I want you to put them right up in front of your face. Both of them. Look at them. The lines in the palms of your hands. Those are the things that we wish never happened to us. It might represent a criminal conviction. It might represent something that you wish never happened. That you wish you could take an eraser and just make it disappear. All the way up, right in front of your face. Now, with your hands in front of your face, can you see me?
No, sir.
With your hands in front of your face, can you see me?
No, sir.
Neither can you see your future with your past in your face. Hands down. It's over. Now we press on to that Jeremiah 29:11 picture perfect plan that God has for your life. Please join me in welcoming up the Honorable Susan Johnson to administer our oath.
It is a pleasure of mine to administer this oath. In fact, I have been having the pleasure of doing it for over 10 years. Now, some of you may say, hey, yeah, I've already given an oath before. Some of you may say, no, I've never given an oath before. And I would say, well, yeah, you have. At the beginning of the ceremony, you gave an oath. You gave a pledge to your country and your flag. You may have testified in the courtroom and you swore to tell the truth, right? Okay, and then if any of you are professionals, you may have given an oath toward your new position, like I did when I became a lawyer and a judge, where I said that I would protect and support and defend our United States Constitution and the Constitution of the state of Nevada. But the oath you're about ready to give is a little bit different than any of those. You're not giving an oath to your country and your flag. You're not swearing to tell the truth. And you're not saying that you're going to support and defend the constitutions of our country and our state. The oath you are about to give is one to yourself. Raise your right hand. I state your name. Hereby declare an oath. In the presence of family, my friends and all those present, that I will fully embrace this opportunity for a new life. From this day forward, I will strive to be a productive, law-abiding member of my community. Be a person of honor and integrity. Be a person who sets positive examples for those around me. I will strive for all these things as I am a person of value, a person who takes responsibility, a person with self-respect, who respects others. I look forward to my future, having learned from my past. My determined purpose from this point forward is to make the rest of my life the best of my life. So help me God. Congratulations, graduates.
We're going to move into the issuing of the certificates. I'm going to ask our speakers to come and join me. You guys can have a seat. While we're making a way for them to come up, again, just want to give a special thank you to Governor Joe Lombardo, Secretary of State Cisco Aguilar, Senator Catherine Cortez Masto, U.S. Congresswoman Susie Lee, U.S. Congresswoman Dina Titus, Councilwoman Victoria Seaman, our Attorney General Aaron Ford, and County Commissioner Tick Sigerbloom. Madeline, would you come down here? All right, and as I call your names, if you guys will please come up and grab your certificates. If you guys will please put your hands together for Miss Ellen Ortega. Let's please keep it going for Miss Rasha Berto. Very, very proud of you. Keep it going for Mr. Oliver Boulon. Good work. Mr. Vincent Casillo. Please keep it going for Mr. Jeffrey Cox. Mr. Javier Encinas. Please keep it going for Mr. Carlos Favala. Miss Francesca Garcia. Let's keep it going for Mr. Larry Grace. Mr. Corey Graham. Let's please keep it going for Jeannie Green. Very proud of you. Keep up the good work. Mr. Demetrius Hall. Let's please keep it going for Monica Hansen. Mr. Philip Hernandez. Please get up for Todd Houston. Mr. Lawrence Ashishi. Let's please keep it going for Keizon Jones. Ellen Lamb. Quentin Ledette. Rafael Marino. Congratulations. Please keep it going for ID Maltek. Mr. Jose Ordonez. Yes, you're welcome. Please keep it going for Mr. Jeremy Paduan. Mr. Hamil Pagan. Yes, of course, of course. Mr. Jesse Parker.
Thank you so much.
Please keep it going for Miss Nichelle Quintero. Stay close. Marian Reyes. Keep up the good work, all right? Mr. Dario Rodriguez. Susan Stuma. Yes, you're welcome. Let's please keep it going for Adrian Thomas. Mr. James Trapedi. Mr. Jose Vasquez. Mr. Jim Vasquez. All right. Congratulations, man. Elsie Wingon. Oh, so very proud of you. Oh, congratulations. Oh, you're welcome. You're going to be right here. Mr. Miles Wembley. Okay, I see you. Right, congratulations, man. And last but not least, Mr. Frenchie Yepes. I'm going to ask the graduates if you please stand on your feet. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Hope for Prisoners March 2024 graduating class. Can we give them a big, gigantic round of applause? So very, very happy for you. Congratulations, congratulations. The journey has just begun. Want to say a big, gigantic thank you for everyone who has joined us here this evening. We know you could have been any place else on a Friday night, but you took time out to spend it here with us. Want to say a big thank you to all of our speakers here, Ms. Madeline Cole, Mr. Cecil Fielder, the captain of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, Noah Roberts, and from the 8th Judicial District Court, the Honorable Susan Johnson. Can we give them a big, gigantic round of applause? We also want to thank you for all the employers that are here today. I made them stand up. You know who you are. Make a beeline over to them. There's vocational trainers over there. Remember that 20-second smile that Barbara Lupe talked to you about? You better get out there and go get it. Hey, before we move, I want to say thank you to my staff. We could not do what it is that we're doing without you. Thank you so much for our team of volunteers. You guys are the absolute glue that holds Hope for Prisoners together. We will see you next month. I want to make an announcement that next month, April is the month of second chances. There's a series of events that we have going for the month of April. If you can please go to our website at hopeforprisoners.org, and we look forward to you guys joining us. Good night, everybody. God bless you, and have a great weekend.